Well, then we'll have to arrest him. A lot of people are saying he's here illegally. We're going to look at everything.
Not to roll out the red carpet for ICE.
I don't have any problem calling Donald Trump a felon or charged with rape or the fact that he doesn't pay his vendors or the fact that he's racist.
We talked about this briefly in the last episode, but Trump is now officially threatening to arrest, denaturalize, and deport Zohran Mamdani, a leading candidate for mayor in America's largest city, New York City. So take a moment if you can. First, leave us a like. It lets us know you enjoy the content. It gives us a big boost in the algorithm. And let's jump into a CNN panel discussing exactly this.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. A lot of people are saying he's here illegally. We're going to look at everything.
He's not here illegally, by the way. He is an American citizen. Here's Mamdani's response. His statements don't just represent an attack on our democracy, but an attempt to send a message to every New Yorker who refuses to hide in the shadows. If you speak up, they will come for you. We will not accept this intimidation.
But it would be illegal if he interfered with federal agents who were trying to enforce federal law, would it not?
He can tell city agencies, like the officers in the Department of Corrections, not to bring people over to ICE at Rikers. You can do that. You can't tell ICE what to do if you're in the mayor of the city of New York, but you can tell what your own departments to do, and it can make a big difference. I know that because I passed a bill when I was speaker that said that.
So you're saying that the position of the socialists here in New York now is that they should use city resources to interfere with the federal government's enforcement of the law?
Absolutely not.
It's funny because what he's pushing for is actually the exact opposite of what Scott Jennings is saying. They're saying that the city resources shouldn't go towards a federal task, especially if it's a federal task that is directly antithetical to both the city's and the state's laws in regards to immigration. Remember when states' laws mattered to conservatives, but this is now what? The 10th or 11th Democrat that Trump has either directly threatened, has had investigated, or straight up detained and arrested. And here is MAGA, who cried political persecution is so wrong for 2 years, now trying to tell us that, well, this one too is justified, and he's not clearly weaponizing the DOJ to go after his enemies and try to bully people into doing what he wants. So much so that he's again willing to interfere in an election in the largest city in America.
We glossed over the fact that Trump threatened to arrest him and called him illegal, but that's, I guess just another day.
Yeah, well, and I should point out he says that he's a democratic socialist. He's a socialist, I'll be kind. But calling him a communist is not far off base when he talks about seizing the means of production. That is a communist party plank. He is talking about doing that. So I don't have any problem with calling him what he is.
And I don't have any problem calling Donald Trump a felon or charged with rape or the fact that he doesn't pay his vendors or the fact that he's racist because he illegally
discriminated. He was
so I don't have any problem. And you're right. And
as
you know
all
what?
of
You
those
may
things.
have a Democratic socialist elected as mayor of New York City.
No, you agree with Pete that he is a communist then?
He's not a communist.
He's a socialist.
He said seize the means of production.
He's a socialist.
He is not a communist.
I'm not a socialist, but he
Literally,
calls himself.
he's using the language of the Bolsheviks, is he not?
He's not. He's a socialist, not a communist. Those
Seizing the means of production?
That's called socialism, not communism.
Use that, the U.S.
It's funny to me that Scott Jennings uses the USSR as an example of communism, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, but I digress. I do wish that Mamdani was talking about seizing the means of production because that would be super based, but he wants just to direct subsidies to corporate grocery stores to instead create city-run affordable grocery stores, because why should we keep letting the rich get richer without allowing us to get our groceries for affordable prices? I digress again. And he's going to bring New York's corporate tax rate to match New Jersey's at 11.5%. So scary, definitely communism. And a 2% tax on those making over $1 million. So high, I know. And this will pay for things like universal child care, free fare for buses and ferry, and construction of over 200,000 new houses in the next decade. Please, for the love of me, every Republican, say that you're against this, because that 2% for millionaires means more to you than universal child care or affordable housing for your family.
What's the position of the Democrats in New York? Are they going to follow this socialist trying to interfere with federal agents or not? What will the
He's not trying
Democrats
to
do?
interfere with federal agencies.
He's literally said it.
He is going to implement the laws that exist, which prevent city agencies from working
Okay.
in cahoots
That's
with
awfully
federal
cute. That's
agencies.
very cute.
Well, I mean, I
exist for you guys, but not
to
for
her.
us.
But to her point, I mean, you're asking, does she support what he's saying? But that's actually already the New York City
Correct.
policy.
That's the
So
law.
it's not something new. That he's
But I mean, listen.
I know. I'm
love,
just saying, like,
I mean,
you're,
I get
you're
it.
acting as if this is like breaking new ground. It's
He-
not
it's
because
literally part of his
Democrats in New
campaign.
York
I
already.
get it. I get
New
it.
York
I know,
doesn't-
but I'm saying Democrats in New York already endorsed this because
Yeah,
this
we
is the
passed- it's been
policy.
passed.
Okay, so
twice.
just the clear position. So what you're saying is the position of the Democrats in New York is to interfere with the federal government when it comes to enforcing federal immigration law.
No, what the
that's
position,
that's the existing
position
position.
is not to roll out the red carpet for ICE.
And remember, guys, this is important. It's states' rights and best to be left to them. And if you don't like it, you can leave and blah, 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 as long as it's a right-wing issue like guns or abortion, which, actually kill people, mind you. Then when a blue state is like, well, okay, then we're going to do our own thing with immigration, all of a sudden it's federal laws over everything else. And if you violate that, you should be arrested. Like, let's just step back and remember that Scott Jennings and MAGA, Trump, and Kristi Noem, all of them were just defending Texas, what was it, last year when they went rogue on the border with their own National Guard, putting up their own barricades against Biden's wishes. And they said that Biden would be a dictator if he sent in federal agents to stop that. But it seems their tone has changed now because of course it has. When, again, nobody's even saying to actively interfere in anything. They're just saying don't use your state resources to violate state law to do what ICE wants on a federal level. They have federal resources for that if they want to get it done.